Is it uncomfortable to tell your friends that you used your Manscaped shaving product this weekend? Because I did.
Oh, no.
And I'm just...
Did it like come up in conversation? Didn't you go to the cottage with family?
This weekend?
Yeah.
No, that was the previous weekend.
Oh, okay.
No, I was talking to you guys. I was going to tell you that I used it this weekend and it was great.
Oh, that's cool.
It's got the technology that, you don't catch skin, right?
What's the code and how much free shipping?
Well, I just want to let you know that I also use the flashlight too, because sometimes I like to do that in the dark.
I don't want to.
No,
I don't want to hear this.
I don't need that kind
Jesse,
of.
I don't
need
hear
the
this.
shame of a light on in the bathroom.
This is Hobbit toe.
Okay.
This is verging on your vasectomy talk.
Okay.
Jesse, was an important discussion about men's health.
It was.
How dare you?
So is this about everyone's health? This one. I
Yeah,
guess.
that's right.
Yeah. All right.
So keep it clean with Manscaped. Use the promo code DANGLE and that 20% off and free shipping is all yours. Promo code DANGLE.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Powered by Sports Interaction. Canada's Sportsbook.
SDPN, the Steve Dangle Podcast, with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
With an event to announce, our first in over 2 years, like a real live in-person event.
That's pretty cool.
Jesse Blake is going to run us through it, though, because he did most of the organizing.
Okay.
And I frankly...
He did all of the organizing.
He did all. Yeah, we didn't do shit. We're like, here's a good idea, Jesse.
Yep.
That's kind of how it went.
It is kind of how it went.
It was a great idea, and I'm glad it came to fruition.
Yes,
But
it wouldn't have fruited if it wasn't for you. So
well, thank you. So there, I built the website, our sdpn.ca, way back in 2020. It was like December of 2020, I think, is when it got live, and a couple months later, we told the people about it.
Oh, you were working on it long before that.
Oh yeah, into the fall and that sort of stuff. But there's a part on the website. It's sdpn.ca/events, and for 2.5 years, that section of the site has said, "We're in a panini, no events right now."
Didn't it alternate? It's like,
So we would change it frequently throughout 2021. It'd say, "We're in a Ponda replay." Was one of them.
I like that.
We had Panini,
Pandemonium.
Pandemonium, Pandora.
Yep.
Yeah.
did anybody notice?
Yeah, a couple people noticed.
all
we
right. I
changed
like
it.
that. I like
But
that.
then we stuck with Panini. Panini is
little
kind of what it
things.
says.
Panins.
It's the little things.
Yeah.
And finally, this week, I got to put something on the events page. SDPN Fan Appreciation Night goes live in Montreal, July 8th, 6 p.m. at, I'm going to say this incorrectly.
Brasserie Sportif. So it's a brasserie, the basically the sports bar in Bell Center.
Look at this guy.
I don't get it.
Lacage?
Lacage, yeah.
Lacage is the name of it. It's like a Shoeless Joe's kind of chain. You know?
it's in Bell Center.
Yeah, so they have a location that's attached to the Bell Center, and we're going to be at that one at 6 p.m. You can grab your tickets right now. So go to sdpn.ca/events. Click the button that says "Click to grab your tickets now." They are $5. We're charging the fee just so there's something that people have to put down to come to the event. We didn't want it free, and all of that money we're also going to donate it to our big pool, to the 519 that we're doing at the end of this month. So
For Pride Month.
Yeah.
Anybody that doesn't know, yeah.
So your ticket there, your $5 ticket, will go straight to the 519. And yeah, click to grab it right now. We have a limited amount available, and only get a ticket if you're actually going to go, because there's a limited amount, and we want everybody who can attend to attend. sdpn.ca/events. I'm very excited.
Yay!
July 8th. So we're going to be, and if you're there, like if you're in Montreal the night before, we're going to be after day one of the draft. We're going to have a little free time. You know? I don't know. We might hit up some bars, do some fun.
But gosh, Jesse, who's going to be there?
Well. At SDPN Fan Appreciation Night, you're going to have a whole host of guests.
A whole host of hosts.
Including the CJ Show.
Yeah.
Game Over Montreal.
Which is just Andrew.
Which is...
I love that we're just like Game Over Montreal, but not Andrew.
All of them. We're going to have Andrew. We're going to have Berkshire.
We're hoping Noxie and Cax making a special appearance. Agent Provocateur might stop by.
Yeah, maybe.
These are all pending. We'll see when we get there.
Oh, is he going to be busy?
I don't know. He's kind of has some people being drafted, and then has free agency the next night. So it's pending.
Holy shit! Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Isn't it like
July 13th?
He's probably prepping for free
so
agency.
the 9th, and then so it's 2 days later.
Yeah. Oh, it might. he might be allowed to start speaking.
I don't know. No, I thought that was gone too.
Oh, did they get rid of that?
They got rid of that window.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Anyways.
Here's what you can bet is 3 days before free agency, an agent's going to be busy. So we're hoping Alan can be
Busy
there.
at La Cage with SDPN takes over Montreal.
So
a good time.
We're very excited about this, and obviously there's going to be more events coming up, but it takes an enormous amount of effort to even put these together. So Jesse, thank you for doing that.
No problem.
And the whole point was to try to get everybody from SDPN who was behind a microphone in front of a camera, and the people that aren't, the unsung heroes, Yams, Robert Malloy, Rob, who is our VP of sales. We're trying to get
producer of the season show.
Oh yeah,
Nick's
producer
going to be making an appearance.
Yes, that's amazing. So there's a lot of exciting things happening. We're very excited about this. So we hope you can join us. And if you can't hear, that's okay. We'll do more.
Yes, that's the thing. Like, this isn't our only event ever.
So it's the only one we're ever doing again.
We'll have for those of you who are local to the Toronto area, which is a lot of you, we will have some events in the very near future in this area. Come join us there.
There you go. Now, guys, I want to let you know that, and this is really important, that the internet was on fire when we all woke up this morning. And a lot of people are asking, hey, what do you got to say about these two events? And the answer is nothing.
Alarmingly little, because ultimately, I think one of them's a translation error and another one's somebody's personal life. We're not getting into it. Yeah?
I just want to take that off the table right now.
I don't think a lot of people know what you're talking
about. Well, then we can say that way. Yeah. But what I do want to know is, have we mentioned this? Have we mentioned that this will be the first final since 1979 where a teammate of Jaromir Jagr will not be in the final? Have we mentioned that?
So Greg McKegg, who does Greg McKegg play for? The Rangers or the Lightning?
I think it's the Rangers, isn't it? I don't know.
He's played for both organizations.
Greg McKegg
I'm going to say Rangers.
He's a Ranger.
He's on the Rangers. Okay,
yeah, so he could have been.
Yeah, because they're saying if Greg McKegg got in the lineup, then this streak would. But yeah, they would have to get to the final. So yeah, broken.
Sorry, Gregory McKeggery.
Now, this leads to the conversation. This is why Jaromir Jagr is good, not great.
What?
Sorry, I expected a bigger reaction
What?
out of that. I'm joking. It's a joke. You see, I sometimes make jokes. I like to make jokes. So this is the first time since Wayne Gretzky's rookie season that a teammate of Jaromir Jagr won't be in the Stanley Cup final.
That's right.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It's crazy. And you got to think about it like contextually. That's 42 years or 41 years if you include last year.
Oh my God.
That's 41 years of Stanley Cup finals where Jagr was in it. By the way, were people actually arguing that he was good, not great?
No, I was playing the character.
Thank God.
I mean,
it's like that is full blown stupidity.
I'm sure
Caps fans might
if we
feel that
wait
way.
around, yeah,
Sure.
we might get someone who's when was he ever the best player on his team?
92, 93.
And the answer is the year when he was with Calgary.
Yeah, it probably was.
100%.
All right, so let's talk about the fact that the Lightning got in. They got in.
I know that feel. Oh, they're up 1-0. You tie it, and they very quickly erase that tie. Been there, know that feel. Sucks, feels bad. They don't go away.
Did you know, more importantly than anything Jagr can do, or anything the Lightning or the Avalanche can do, this series is the first time in NHL history that two teams without an S ending their name are meeting in the Stanley Cup final.
First time ever?
First time ever.
All right, how many does
Rangers,
the
Leafs,
NHL
Red Wings, Canadians, Bruins. Oh, so all the original 6 and Blackhawks. Yeah, all the original 6 have S's. Wow, what a dumb stat. That's so dumb.
Avalanche,
but I'm interested.
Avalanche, Lightning, Wild.
Yeah.
Are there more?
In hockey?
Kraken.
There's one, yeah.
I'm trying to think. Jets. Flames, Oilers, Canucks.
The Senators, because they don't matter.
Yeah. No, you'd have to find. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
two teams that go head to head don't have an S at the end of their name. This is only the second time it's ever happened in, I think, the 4 major sports. In 2012,
so it's gonna be so it has to be a name that works both singularly and plural.
Something to do with the Jazz.
Do you want to? Okay, you got the right sport.
Okay.
Can you guys tell me the 2 teams that face
not
off?
the Jazz.
Not the Jazz.
Here's
Yeah, the Jazz
2012?
did not make the finals. No way. They've been bad for a long time.
Okay. So we go to LeBron James and we go to the Heat.
Yeah,
All right.
Miami Heat.
and it was that they in the same.
Got it. In 2012 final,
Oh,
the non-S's played the non-S's.
So it's the Heat.
Yeah, you got
2012.
one.
It was for sure LeBron.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then who would have been in the Western Conference for that? So
Jazz.
But you said the Jazz. Why the Jazz? Yeah, there was the Jazz. You know, the team everybody watches, the Jazz.
The Jazz.
Mavericks, no, because I'm just trying to think of who would have been good. That's pre, Golden State / San Francisco being good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did
Celtics.
what was Durant's old team's name?
Thunder.
The Thunder.
Hey!
I got it.
The Heat played the Thunder. You both got it.
We both got
No, I wasn't listening to you.
The Heat
I don't
played the
know.
Thunder.
I was in my head, so I don't know what you said. I wasn't listening.
That stat comes from the people with the most useless stats on Earth, the 32 Thoughts podcast.
Oh, love them.
They find some weird shit, don't
Oh
they?
yeah.
It's okay. Next topic: the top 5 SPHL fights of all time.
Jeff
Starting
Merrick.
at number 8. We have
Jeff Merrick knows more about everything that anybody else knows in general.
Is that what when they refer to like a photographic memory?
yeah, no,
Like
he's ridiculous.
where you read a page once and you never have to read it again. There are people that have that.
Yeah.
That must be amazing, but also a curse because imagine you read something that you cannot forget, like something horrible. You watch a movie that's so gross you can't stop thinking about
Imagine having a photographic memory of the last 15 years of Leafs history.
it. Oh, well, there you go.
It's pretty shit.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Do you have a photographic memory of it, or do you have to submerge yourself in it? Therefore, it is around you always, and it is repeatedly knocking itself into your brain. Because here's the thing:
Well, usually you have to pay to get asked questions like that. Jeez.
the depth of knowledge Jeff has on such a wide range of obscure hockey topics. It's like I wouldn't even know where to start reading and researching what Jeff knows about hockey.
I've told this story before, but on a radio show, like a student radio station, long ago, Jeff agreed to come on as a guest because he was the weirdo and would do that sort of thing back before it was cool. And I go, what's the best hockey fight ever? And without hesitation, he goes, Nasty John Morasty versus Steve Bossé, the Quebec Senior League. And I went, what? And then I looked it up. And folks, it's the best hockey fight I've ever seen. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, how do you know that?
Right.
How do you know that? Where did you see it? How did you hear of it? Did you watch it live? Was he there? Why?
He was talking about today. He's like, "Oh, this player, they didn't play AAA until their final year of eligibility." I was like, "What?" He's like, parents, that's a thing, lesson you gotta take. Your son or daughter doesn't have to play AAA until they're well into their elder years, and they can still make the NHL. It's like, how did you know this guy only played AAA for 1 year?
Michael Bunting, and that's the end of my list.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Michael Bunting's, he's on that list of guys who played like single A and still make the NHL.
And I only know that because I asked him. Like,
Bunting?
Yes.
Oh wow.
I interviewed him in his draft year. Everyone else, I don't freaking know. I have no idea. I also I got to talk to 2 guys who ended up playing for the Leafs that year. I only interviewed 2 players, Michael Bunting and Jared McCann.
Did Jared McCann ever dress up for the Leafs though?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, he was a Leaf for like 3 days.
All right, Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, so I don't know.
No, the Leafs.
Listen,
Leafs.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to do this yet.
Okay, so the Leafs. Sorry.
I don't want to do a how do the Lightning and Avs stack up yet because we still have Wednesday show.
Why not?
Don't we have Wednesday show?
See,
The game doesn't start until Wednesday evening. Should we do it now or do we do it Wednesday?
I think we should do it now because a lot of people won't listen to Wednesday show until
Okay. So here,
they'll be too busy watch the Stanley Cup playoffs with Steve Dangle.
that's true.
Is that still happening?
Who
you
could miss
bet
that?
your ass and trimmed balls.
Okay, so
I don't want to bet those.
we're gonna go by position here. Okay,
This is off the rail show.
we're gonna go. No, you're off the rails. We're
No!
fine. We're just fine.
No!
You should take a dump on another franchise.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
just shitting on the Sens for no reason.
they
Jazz don't matter.
Jazz don't matter.
Not since Karl Malone, but
Go be purple and
Put some
lose somewhere
respect-
else.
Put some respect on John Stockton's name.
No,
I
absolutely
love
not.
John Stockton and his tight shorts.
his, little,
John-
his booty shorts.
John
That
Stockton
was
made me
actually
feel
what-
good about the shorts my parents bought me from Winners.
No.
Because they were always too short, and the style at the time was and one, and it was down past the knee. Did my parents buy me those types of shorts when I was in grade 5? Absolutely not. I
should
showed
have
a
been-
lot of calf.
He should have been able to play with a denim jacket and aviators in order to wear those shorts.
For sure. Absolutely. So let's have a look at how these teams actually stack up, and we're going to start with goaltending.
Mhm.
Okay. So
I think the Avs have it. When I think goaltending in this Stanley Cup final, I think the Avs.
what was the stat? I think there was some sort of stat where he was like his game sevens. Or here it is. Last 8 series clinching wins for Andrei Vasilevsky. Are you ready for the stats? Okay.
No, I never am.
A .25 goals against average.
Fuck off.
But you know what? Goals against average is dumb. It's a stupid stat. Don't listen to it. Why don't you listen to the real stat, which is save percentage? Ask anybody in the fancy stats community. They'll say it's far more accurate.
Yeah.
A .991. And if you're listening to that properly, that's 3 decimal points past zero. Like
Here.
And it's 0.009% away from perfect.
If you take 1,000 shots on elimination game, Andrei Vasilevsky, you can expect to score only 9 times. Holy shit!
And included in that,
What?
in the last 8 series clinching wins, is 6 shutouts. Now, the Leafs got one of those goals.
Woo!
Leafs should have got 2 of those goals, but one of them was called back. I'm still salty. But let me ask you, can you remember, because I don't know the answer to this, who got the other one?
Whoever scored for the Rangers the other day. Was it Ryan Lindgren?
I think so.
So wait, it's 2.
Was it the Rangers? Yeah, the Rangers scored first. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my god.
that means that he's fallen a bit. Because before that, all those numbers were zeros.
He's allowed goals in 2 of the 3 elimination, all or nothing, whatever the fuck's. What a bum.
It was Vetrano. Lindgren was the game before.
Oh, right. Damn. I mean, okay, let's ask the question. Was Vasilevsky even the best Russian goalie in that series? My answer's no. I felt, damn, like as a Leafs fan, how did the Rangers make me feel bad?
What do you mean?
Well, they just seemed so crushed.
Well, they're young. We've
Yeah,
seen
but, like-
crushed teams before.
But like
You're emotional.
they didn't look at this playoff run the way a lot of people did at all. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, they're young. It's house money. Woo! They're gonna be fine. It's cool that they went this far, and they're gonna be great, and they're gonna be great for a long time." Yeah. No, they were gutted. They thought they had a real chance at doing it, and they did. They did. The Lightning have a habit of letting you get close and making you feel shit, like when you lose.
A lot of them were really upset at the Kaapo Kakko scratching, for the final game there. But like, I don't know. I trust Gerard Gallant to do the right thing.
I don't, because so Gerard Gallant, I don't implicitly not trust him, but his logic is fucked.
What's the logic?
So the logic heading into the game seemed fucked, and after the game when he
He
explained
didn't
it,
have an answer.
was far more fucked.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I knew Ryan Strome, who had not played great. I knew he was hurting, and you could see he was hurting, but he went out there and battled. Let the kid who's not hurt battle. Here's how I try to picture it. Imagine Kaapo Kakko and Ryan Strome playing against each other. Now, in their current states. Now, who would you expect to win?
Kaapo Kakko.
Kaapo Kakko almost every time. You know why? His body parts are not in agony. What is with coaches? And do we all agree this is one of the best ones?
Yes.
They're all nuts.
I mean, it has to be at this
They're
point.
all out of their mind.
Well,
All of them, even the best ones.
I think sometimes we look at situations like this is a bad example, but like the Michael Jordan flu game. He had the flu. He played like fucking crazy. And I think sometimes it's like certain player played this great despite all of these injuries.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Patrice Bergeron a couple playoffs ago, whatever. The thing is that we're not talking about Michael Jordan or even Patrice Bergeron. We're talking about Ryan Strome.
Yes.
And Ryan Strome had a good year. And Ryan Strome is a good player. Ryan Strome is not an elite hockey player in the NHL level. There's nothing wrong with saying that. And so to expect him to get better, like what kind of effort were you really expecting out of Ryan Strome other than his best? Well, you're going to get his best, right?
Of
but
course.
even at Ryan Strome's best, he's the 10th best player in that series, maybe even less.
Oh, it's less.
So
that's a good player. I like Ryan
that's
Strome.
a good player, but are you telling me that I'm with you, Steve? With Kakko, it's like here's a young player. Here's a ton of
He's played well.
Played well, and here's a reason to get him in the game, into an elimination game, and experience this. Because really, as we said before, the Rangers are playing with house money, right?
Yeah.
They'll be back. They're going to be fine. They got a great goaltender. They got a great young crew. They got a Norris Trophy winning defenseman. They're laughing. They're good. They probably need a centerman this offseason. Okay? So they'll be back. So why not prepare as though you're trying to win?
Mm-hmm.
Get Kakko into the game. Know that, you know what, you're in tough against the 2-time Stanley Cup champions. Get him the experience so next year, when he may have to do it again, he now has done it.
Yeah, there's no defense.
Yeah, I didn't
There's no defense.
from the perspective of also like this is the guy who got you here. It's the young kids who have been the lead on this team that have been taking this team way above expectations for everybody at the beginning of the year about what they thought the Rangers would be. And Kakko was a huge part of that. And he was part of that young guns little core they had on their forward group. And then you come out here and now he's an RFA and you're going to go into crazy negotiations with this 21-year-old and his agent and you just scratched him on the last game. It'll
bring his value down. It'll bring his value down.
It
won't be able to
only-
charge as much. Sorry, I couldn't get in the last game.
Yeah, but I don't know. I trust that the coach kind of knows what he's doing, but it also you don't know. You're not.
They don't.
Well, NHL coaches
No.
are notoriously, they make weird decisions.
It's perplexing.
Listen, if it's Wayne Gretzky at 80% is still better than 99.9% of the league. And I'm just basically saying Lemieux and Jagr in the early 90s, right?
Yeah.
Gretzky's better than everybody, even injured. Ryan Strome at 20% less than what Ryan Strome is capable of isn't very good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this is...
Yeah.
We've had this discussion for years and years. And like, we shouldn't maybe focus on this too much because we shouldn't focus on it as a reason the Rangers lost.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's maybe a little micro thing, but it adds to a magical run coming to an end in the worst possible way. Because like this should be an off season of unbridled optimism for the New York Rangers, and it just right at this moment feels like anything but.
Yeah, their fans seem really devastated by the loss.
Are they upset? How upset is the Ranger fan base about it?
Like,
about
more
the
so-
scratching? They went off.
Oh, Ryan Mead, I was watching on Twitter,
Yeah.
like when there were whispers he might get scratched for Game 6, was like, "I'm going to destroy the world," I think is what he said. And like it's a indefensible scratch.
Because he was skating pregame. I forget, it was the Panarin. He was on the Panarin and Cop line. Kakko was on line rushes like in pregame skate, and then he comes back out, and all of a sudden he's scratched, and Strome's back out there. You know, so all the fans, they lost it, and like I don't think they look at this season at all as like, hey, we're playing way above our heads, and like, no, they thought they had an actual chance to win the Stanley Cup here.
And now there's rumors he wants out, and why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting buried to the point where, okay, you're playing an elimination game round 3. This is with your whole chest screaming from the top of a mountain what you think your best lineup is. And I'm not part of it. Fucking trade me.
Yeah,
Trade me now.
Now that'll probably come down, and it'll probably be a Ranger next year. But I looked at that too, and I wonder if there's a fit between Puljujarvi Kakko trade between Edmonton and trading disgruntled RFAs.
There could be something.
I'm not saying there is. I'm just saying, like, couldn't there be something where you?
I think he sticks around in Edmonton.
Yeah, I don't
You know?
think it makes sense for. That's a tough one.
Offer sheet.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Possibility.
Sure is.
We got to start counting up the draft picks on who has the capital to offer cheap people.
Most teams probably, because
No, remember, because you got to have your own draft pick.
you got to have your own draft pick, but also it's not going to cost very much.
No, it's not.
Kakko was second overall.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. It's what he's done at the NHL level that New York is willing to give up to keep him on the the salary, right?
Puljujarvi at here. Can you bring up the breakdown of the picks? I forget how it works.
For what?
Offer sheeting.
Oh, okay.
You know how it's like if it's between this and this, it's this pick or whatever. Because I wonder if there's a dollar amount where you could screw whichever team.
Here's the thing. This guy is an 18-point player in the regular season. He played 43 games this year. I realize that's less than normal, but so he's maybe a 40-point guy right now.
So I can. Okay, would you trade a second round pick for either of those players?
Yeah, I would trade a second round pick for Kakko every day of the week.
A second round pick for a guaranteed bona fide NHLer that fits in your lineup? Sure.
Are you kidding me?
Why not? That's what you would. You're crossing your fucking fingers to get an NHLer on a second round.
Do we think the Rangers are going to offer Kakko $4.2 million?
No.
Do we think the Oilers are going to offer Jesse Puljujarvi $4.2 million?
No.
Offer sheet them for $4.2 million. It costs you a second round pick.
Pretty good trade.
That's a fucking amazing trade. Are you kidding?
That might be high for a lot of teams. But
4.2. If you were in 4.2, you'd be first and third.
Nope. Right there. It's 2.1 to 4.2.
Oh, you mean like sneak it right under that?
Sneak it right. So the official number is $4,201,488. I would offer him $4,201.
4 million, you mean?
Yeah, what did I say?
4,000.
My bad. $4,201,487.
Yes.
And neither team is prepared for that.
Is $4.2 million for Kakko or Puljujarvi?
I would 1,000 million.
That's a lot. That's way above their value.
Yes, but the assets is dick. It's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go as far to I would even for some of those players, depending on the team that I am, I'd consider going to 6.3 for a first and a third. Just like what Carolina did with Kotkaniemi. Mm-hmm. They gave Kotkaniemi far more money than his market value, but they pry the player out of Montreal because they probably could have done 4.2 or whatever it was last year.
And Montreal would match that.
And Montreal would match it and it would have failed. You can have a top 5 pick. Puljujarvi's got at least somewhat of a larger track record of success, and he's a little older. You can have them for $6.3 million, a first and a third. It's not a ton, man. It's not a ton. It's
unless your team's a cap team, which I think 20 of the 30 teams are on or over the cap.
If you're Arizona,
I don't think there's going to be any RFA stuff.
If you're Arizona, why don't you just do this shit all the time?
Because
Arizona could afford to do both.
They can't. They can't afford to do anything. That's the problem with Arizona. Yes,
they
could
got to hit the floor. They got to hit the floor.
No, but they hit the floor with dead money that they're not paying.
You hit the floor with Ben Bishop money.
Because
that's Buffalo.
You could potentially get one of them for 4.2, get the other for 6.3. You give up a first, second, and third, and you'll still have more picks than any other team in the draft.
If you're a Buffalo, if you're in Arizona, I don't think I put Columbus in that. But if you're a team who needs to hit the floor, who's kind of rebuilding, why don't you take advantage of these offer sheets and send your future second out the window? Because you're hoping to draft these guys with your second round picks, and your draft pick's always going to be magic beans, and your money can just buy a player now who is that player.
And especially when you're in win now mode, which the Rangers have now entered, right?
Sort of.
Give up your fucking picks, man. Who cares?
Well, the Rangers are struggling with cap space.
Yeah.
The Rangers are going to be a low cap strat. I think they only have $13-something million in cap space coming this offseason. And they got a bunch of guys to resign.
Do they have Hedl? Do you have their cap friendly up?
Sure.
I forgot my glasses upstairs. Oh.
So you can't see anything that's happening.
Shit.
Okay, so let me throw this at you.
I know they got Georgiev.
Yeah.
Yeah, Georgiev, Justin Braun, Frank Vetrano, who had an outstanding postseason, Strome, Rooney, Tyler Mott, Greg McKegg, Andrew Kopp, and then Kakko and Julian Gauthier.
It's a lot of marginal guys you probably already made peace with losing.
Mm-hmm.
How about this? If you're the Rangers, you have your own second round pick. Keep Kakko and go out and get Puljujärvi.
Yeah, why not? Why not? You can do that.
Do it.
We got to talk about Muskoka Brewery's Tread Lightly.
Mm.
You know, you make that noise. Why do you make that noise?
Because it's delicious.
It's delicious. It is.
not a-
Tread Lightly. If you're a craft beer enthusiast,
You knew what it meant.
it's a light choice. 110 calories per 355 milliliter can. No sacrifice on flavor. Like all of Muskoka Brewery's beer, Tread Lightly is proudly crafted in Muskoka with all natural ingredients. Light beer, full flavor. That's what you want, right?
What's the percentage?
the percentage?
Oh, that's my percentage.
Why is that your percentage?
That's the beer I love when it's in that 4% range.
Okay.
You see how Adam looked down to read, and I was like, based on experience, 4.
Find Muskoka Brewery's Tread Lightly Lager at your local LCBO or beer store, and you get $1 off of a 6-pack of Tall Boys now through June 19th. And they say it pairs very well with a fresh salsa or guacamole and chips. Anything from the grill.
It does. It also pairs well with just wanting a beer.
Place your Stanley Cup bets with Sports Interaction.
Is that how they told you?
That's that. They said shake the interaction around a little bit. Interaction. Obviously, before the game starts, live in play, which I have seen Jesse do.
Oh,
And you can, obviously look at how your favorite players are going to perform. They have a ton of head-to-heads. We talked a little bit about it in the episode. Head-to-head matchups are very, very interesting and super even. Doing it right since 1997. Canada's sportsbook is Sports Interaction with the most competitive odds. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now and see all that sports betting has to offer. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus. Please play responsibly.
I'm waiting on my Barry Trotz bet to pay out. I got the Jets.
Did you actually do it?
I got the Jets.
Oh,
I hope it pays out, baby.
Dave Bassel's like somewhere he's listening to this going, yeah.
see, I want it for Dave, but I also don't want it for Jesse.
Hey.
Now listen, we don't bounce back the way that we used to when we were drinking.
No.
It's not the same. Z-Biotics is a pre-alcohol probiotic, the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. And here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted to a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that is to blame for your rough next day. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. It is designed to work like your liver, but in your gut where you need it the most. So here's what you need to do. Try Z-Biotics, and you can do this yourself. Go to zbiotics.com, and the promo code is SDP. Get 15% off your first order. And you got to use that promo code SDP at checkout. So it's Z-Biotics. It's backed by 100% money back guarantee. And if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked. Again, it's zbiotics.com/SDP. Use the promo code SDP for 15% off at checkout.
Do it. Why not?
So, okay, getting back to the original discussion,
Sorry.
which is how do the Lightning and Avs match up? Although it was a great discussion.
Justus Annunen versus Andrei Vasilevsky. I pick Annunen.
So let's go to defense. And I want to talk specifically about the head-to-head. Okay? I want to talk about the head-to-head between
Hedman to head.
Hedman and Makar.
Oh my God. 2 pretty good players, eh?
Yeah.
Now,
Who gets the most points this series?
Makar.
Makar.
Without
he's the betting favorite at Sports Interaction. He's got a 163. Hedman's a 216.
I think it was Lafreniere with the very not nice, very blatant headshot. Hedman in Game 6. It could be a factor. I hope it's not.
A couple other head-to-heads I want to talk to you about. Most points this series. Who's going to get it? McKinnon or Kucherov?
Oh, baby. Oh,
baby.
Boy. Oh, baby. McKinnon.
Okay. I want to ask you guys, who do you think Sports Interaction has as a favorite, McKinnon or Kucherov? And Jesse, pick yours favorite too. Who do you think is going to get more
I
points?
think Kucherov.
You think Kucherov?
McKinnon.
Okay.
McKinnon's the favorite, and McKinnon's going to get more points.
They are even.
Oh,
wow. They are even. And I would have said McKinnon too, because I think the Avs rely on him more to get their points. Kucherov, look at how the way Stamkos has played. Way better than the third liner he was last year.
Especially
my God.
with Kadri out and Point coming back.
Yeah.
Kadri might be back, though.
Yeah, we'll
Him
see.
and Cogliano are skating.
We'll see.
And okay, most series points, Landeskog versus Stamkos. Who's your favorite? And then who do you think the betting favorite is?
I think, well, my favorite and I think the betting favorite are both Stamkos.
Okay, Jesse?
Same.
And you guys would be halfway right. Landeskog and Stamkos are tied. 1.85 on both of them.
I'm shocked.
It's a draw. I am shocked too.
Dude.
This is how evenly matched this team looks like. So I think it's going to come down to things like this. Cirelli versus Stamkos, right? It's not Cirelli versus Stamkos. Jesus.
I was like,
not Cirelli.
Good thing they don't have to play each other. It's a good matchup.
Not what I meant. Why did I say that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I want to know how. I was thinking, I don't know. Anyway, Cogliano, that line. How do they and the JT Compher line too? Mm-hmm. How do they match up against the best that Tampa can do? And by the way, we'll get to Cirelli in a second because it's Cirelli McKinnon that I was trying to say.
Yeah. Oh boy. I think Tampa has Colorado beat when it comes to depth.
How to shut because the question is how to shut down the best line from each team. Who's better at shutting down the other team's best line? And are you going to give that to Tampa?
Yeah, I would definitely give that to Tampa. The experience and meat of their depth, the Maroons, the Perrys. Oh, listen to me. I sound like such an old hockey man by referring to players as plurals. I just see it as better than Colorado's depth, which, does include some really good guys. Compher's a good player. Cogliano's a good player. But I'm thinking back to that. You need poise, and every team is going to make mistakes. And I think back to that friggin' brutal giveaway from Logan O'Connor in Game 4 that led to the Ryan Nugent-Hopkins goal. Jesse's got it out in front of us. I'm looking at all these guys, and none of them are bad. None of them are bad.
I see a lot of Tampa in Colorado, and I don't think Colorado should be scared because the way I look at Tampa's roster is I see a whole bunch of options all up and down the lineup. Like last episode, I was talking about how every single game it seems to be a different guy. On Saturday, it was the Stamkos game. After it was the who had the game on? The Sergachev game, the game before, and before that it was the Palat game. And Colorado comes out and they do the exact same thing because in round number 2 versus the Oilers, a couple of those were the Nichushkin games. Yeah. And then we had the JT Compher game. Yeah. And then we had the McKinnon he's going to take over. And then we have Makar whenever he wants to just dominate play, he can. And Colorado has that same depth, I think, in that on any given night, anybody in the lineup could be the guy who puts them over the edge.
But okay, let's just say, let's take the Kaapo Kakko versus Ryan Strome thing.
Right.
And let's play... Okay, your starting lineup.
Okay.
And this is without... Do we want Braden Point in the lineup or not?
This is daily face-off.
This is daily face-off. Do you want Braden Point in the lineup or not?
Yes.
You want him in the lineup on this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So that moves Brandon Hagel down. Okay. So you got...
That's okay.
You got Colton, Paul, Perry, Maroon, Bellemare, and Hagel. Riley Nash is technically slotted in there right now, but assuming that Point comes back.
I don't even know if he's played.
Versus Newhook, Compher, I always fuck up his name. Obe Kubel.
Obe Kubel. Yeah.
Cogliano, Helm, and Logan O'Connor. Which of those 6 are you taking?
Oh my God. I really like Alex Newhook. His problem is there seems to be like an unrefined player.
How is your answer not Tampa immediately?
No. I prefer Tampa.
But it's not that easy.
We
saw Darren Helm step up and have a game.
He won the series.
He won Arturi Lekkinen, Mikko Lehtinen.
Those are good.
Sake.
Those are the players you're expecting to.
And that lineup right there. If you're putting in Braden Point, you might as well put in Nazem Kadri, which punches down somebody in that top 6.
Who killed the Leafs though? Nick Paul, 2 goals in Game 7. Brandon Hagel being a pain in the ass. Ross Colton, I think he scored a couple goals in that series.
He did.
That's Corey Perry. I think had 1 or 2, whatever it was. Yeah. They were a factor. You're talking about Mikko Rantanen. Mikko Rantanen's the second line center. Mikko Rantanen should score goals. Darren Helm, who we weren't even aware was still playing. Let's be honest.
He's listed. We should say he's listed as the second line center. I don't think he's going to end up playing there.
Rantanen,
no. I don't think so.
No. Why not?
I don't think so. Because I think Kadri's coming back. It's the Stanley Cup final. Fuck all that. Nazem Kadri.
I
He's
agree.
coming
but
back.
you just made I guess Nazem Kadri's a lot better than Strome. Okay. All right. All right, that's fair with Ranton in there.
Also, with that Tampa lineup, if Point doesn't come back, I could see them running 7 and 11 again.
Yeah.
I love that.
This is the hardest series to predict in a very long time because I could see this series going to 7. I could see Colorado sweeping Tampa, and I could see Tampa sweeping Colorado. None of it would shock me. Maybe Colorado sweeping Tampa.
So the only thing that would really shock Steve is a 5-gamer.
I'd be stunned by a 5-gamer.
We're tied 1-1, and then somebody wins the next 3 games. I'm fucking shocked. I can't believe.
Oh my
I can't
God,
believe
guys.
this is the most shocking middle of the fence series I've ever seen.
Well, and I've seen a lot of people like, this is the most entertaining series on paper since blah. And like I've seen 09 with Pittsburgh versus Detroit. I didn't see a lot of Vancouver versus Boston, but that series ruled. That was a lot of fun. Like, what do you? I
think people forget how good Blues Bruins was 2019. I think this is the best Stanley Cup final since 2 years ago. Like, I don't think it's that dramatic.
It was a good final. I just don't think people cared about it as much.
It went to Game 7, and Game 6 was a bloodbath.
Yeah, but the star power, like we're talking superhumans going up against each other right
Yeah.
in this series.
It doesn't have the star power that this has, for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from any of those players on the Bruins or the Blues, but this is Jesus, 1 through 4, 1 through 3, and a net. Like, this is just
Okay.
stars
Now let's
all
talk
over
about
the place.
the scoring part of these lineups.
Let's
okay,
not.
and let's assume everybody's healthy. So Point's back, Kadri's back. Okay. Which top 6 would you take?
Oh my God.
And that's Rantanen not included because I would expect him to be in the third line.
Nah,
right?
move him to the wing.
Okay, move him to the wing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. I'd say Colorado's.
You would take Colorado.
I'd take Colorado's top 6.
Jesse, would you take Colorado's top 6?
Yeah, I take Colorado's top 6.
Really?
Yeah.
See, with Point back, and if he's not playing limping around, and here's the thing, with Point and Kadri back, you just don't know because Kadri was pretty severely injured.
You got to put Kadri with a shooter because it's his thumb, right?
Mm-hmm.
But which thumb was it? It was his right thumb. So it's not his bottom
Is he a
hand.
lefty?
No, he's a lefty.
Oh, so you could freeze that.
I don't know.
Basically tape it to your stick and hope that works.
You just never friggin' know, man. And like, he hurt his hand. Did he hurt anything else? I don't. It's so impossible to predict the Stanley Cup final based on what you see on paper because the paper is a dirty lie.
Well, yeah, as is every Stanley Cup. So we don't know what these guys are dealing with. Like, that is the ultimate press conference. Everybody talks about like the injuries from their specific teams. When you hear the press conference of what the players in the finals were dealing with, it's the ultimate like, well, here's the injury list, and it's horrible.
Someone's gonna have like 14 points this series, and I broke my foot game 75 of the season. What?
Yeah,
you did what?
I think if it's me, I'm taking Tampa's top 6. And the reason I'm taking Tampa's top 6...
It's
Good answer.
It's not wrong.
Good answer.
No, but I'll say that you guys picked Colorado, right?
Yeah.
So I'll
Both
tell you why I picked
answers
Tampa.
are right, though.
They're both right.
They're both right, but I that Palat Stamkos Kucherov line,
It's clicking.
like
It's
clicking to the next level.
Yeah, there's a difference between which you'd prefer on paper and which is playing better right now.
And I think that's the best line in hockey.
They're playing better right now than Colorado because Colorado is not playing.
Is that your coldest take ever, Adam? That Steven Stamkos is washed up? As you
Well, he
said
played like he was washed up last year, but he obviously is a fucking superhuman. He's done this before. Broke his femur, made it back for the playoffs. Like he's
Scored a goal.
He's a mutant, and I regret ever doubting him.
Adam wasn't wrong in his.
In the context of the
I
time.
don't know. You said he shouldn't be captain, and they should trade him.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a tough take. I can't defend that.
Considered it.
Yeah.
Based on the way he was playing, he's better.
Yeah.
He's better.
He came back.
He put up some of his best career numbers.
He came back better than he was pre-COVID. Like that's how fucking
true.
nuts Steven Stamkos is.
Years ago,
you know what? I was fucking wrong. It's a cold take, man.
dude, it was like what 7 years ago. We were like, Dustin Brown can't play in this league.
No,
can't-
this year he was great.
He's retiring
Now.
and he shouldn't have retired earlier. Like we were like, oh, Kings can't ride this out. He's a bum. It's bullshit. The sun is setting on the LA Kings. Then he proceeded to put up like another half decade of good seasons. Like, I don't know, man. Sometimes guys take a while to get over whatever they're dealing with. With Stamkos, it could be any one of 1,000 things.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Okay, let me ask you this. sportsinteraction.com/SDPN, 19 plus only. Please play responsibly. Total series goals.
Well, I don't know, because I could see either team sweeping each other. Sorry.
The number is set at 32.5. Okay? So it's either, is it under 32 or over 33? Okay? 32 or under 33 or more. Okay? So that works out to be, if it's a 5-game series, it's 6 goals a game. But I'm assuming they're expecting this to be a long series.
So 7 games, it would be 4.5 goals per game ish.
I would take the over. I'd take the over on that.
Yeah? You think it's going to be a 7-game series?
No, not necessarily, but I do think there will be lots of goals.
Here's how interesting this series lineup is. Jesse, what would you take, over or under?
Under.
You're going to go under?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of goals.
It is a lot of goals. So what I find interesting about this is that the odds are almost even no matter who you bet on. So if it's the if it's the over, it's 32.5 at 186. The under is 32.5, 184. That's how evenly matched, at least on paper, these teams are. That's crazy. We're seeing even all the way through.
Both, defense wins championships and all that. Both teams have proven they can win a series when they're not getting the best goaltending or defense out of their team.
Mm-hmm.
The Vasilevsky was a sub 900 goalie in the first round.
Right.
He was, and they won.
So, question then. Who wins the series? Make your pick.
I think greatness holds up. Tampa 3-peats.
I think I know who Jesse's going to pick. Who you
Colorado in 6.
I knew it.
Wow.
It's easy.
I knew it. I'm saying Tampa in 6 or 7. And the reason I'm saying that is you get one opportunity in your life to three-peat a Stanley Cup. All these guys know that. They just pulled their asses out of that Rangers series after 2 abominable games by Tampa standards.
They're going to play with the hunger of a team that's never won.
Yeah, because this is like, you do this, you're remembered forever.
Yeah.
You remember forever.
They're going to play with the hunger of a team that's never won, and for them, it's a terrifying.
It's literally like 2 Stanley Cups in a row, but you get to that 3rd Stanley Cup, you're right, it's like you've never won before.
We're forgetting Patrick Maroon 3-peated last year.
He did 3-peat. Patrick Maroon.
He's got a chance to 4-peat.
Build the statue. Let's go. I love Patrick Maroon. I just hate it when he's playing the Leafs.
What are you trying to do?
Who do you think takes game 1?
One sec. I'm not
Steve's doing
enough
something
to do this in my head.
Okay.
23.
What are you doing?
Patrick Maroon has played 91 playoff games over his streak of not losing a playoff series.
That's incredible.
Holy shit.
Yep.
And he could get up to 98. He's played more than a full regular season's worth of playoff games since the beginning of 2019. Oh my God.
The 4-peat would be sick.
It would be. That's pretty cool.
Right? What are the odds?
Like, give him something for that. The Patrick Maroon Award. I don't know what you call it. The Patrick Maroon Award for
4 sweeps.
Right place, right time. No,
so I have seen that people are cheering for him to win this because it would put him 1 away from Maroon 5.
Oh, I hate it, but I love it.
We also on the line is the Corey Perry Marian Hossa hat trick. So Corey Perry's been in the Stanley Cup Finals 2 times in a row. Marian Hossa did it. Yeah, now it's 3. Marian Hossa did it 3 times in a row. And the last one, he finally won the cup with Chicago.
He lost.
Guys, the Lightning have to win.
So Corey Perry lost. Does he get the Marian Hossa hat trick where he gets the Stanley Cup on the 3rd try?
It's nothing. It's a dream, like for me, like, because there's nothing but great stories.
Mm-hmm.
There's just nothing but, like, Colorado. It might not seem like the greatest thing that, they've never won. But, like, you get to tell every player's story intimately, and, like, Colorado has a bunch of guys who are gonna be in the Hall of Fame. and you sort of need it.
You need the cup to cement your legacy. And I think
Yeah.
if Colorado wins, the storylines for them are Kadri, McKinnon, Makar. Because I think the Kadri is the comeback from Toronto and all that stuff and the injury and all that. And then the
suspension last year too.
And then the suspensions and everything. So, and the McKinnon-Makar storyline is, hey, here's your crown. Like, you are now in that next tier of NHL superstar. You are on your way to the Hall of Fame. We are crowning you with this cup. Welcome to the club.
Especially McKinnon.
Yeah. McKinnon especially, but Makar's got to be in that conversation as well. So, no matter who wins this, it was such a great Stanley Cup final. And hockey fans have been absolutely blessed because, sorry, Dallas, sorry, Montreal. You guys didn't really live up to that.
I have to say, I can't believe they've done this to me, but I am actively now rooting for Pat Maroon and Corey Perry. How did I find myself in this position?
Both teams score. I'm going to go, yay!
By the way, if you're wondering, game one, odds makers are saying Colorado is the betting favorite at 1-6, Tampa at a 2-3-9. So
team.
You got to take Tampa game one.
I think so.
Because you were outlining some of the advantages that each team has. And the experience thing is you come out Stanley Cup final game one team's going to be nervous. We've done this 2 times in a row and we won. So I think Tampa wins game one and then Colorado gets the rest of the series somehow.
Here's the hardest thing for me to picture about your scenario. Colorado, okay, here's what I have no problem envisioning. Colorado goes into game 6, up 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
No problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tampa losing game 6. My brain, it short circuits everything. Yeah. Like I
haven't seen them do it.
Also, here's the thing. Tampa also sucks in game ones.
Yeah.
Colorado's going to win 7-2.
Won't matter, but they'll win 7-2.
Outshoot them 50-14, and then win game 2 somehow. Palat off his bum. Assisted by Belmar because there was a line change or something, and fucking they just find a way, man.
Imagine we get the sweep and it sucks. Like what? I don't know which team would be.
Somebody just doesn't show up.
One just dominates, and we're like, all this hype. No.
All right. So
I can see that.
Hold on. Let's do it. War games. This first off. Let's pretend that the defending Stanley Cup champions get swept.
Mm-hmm.
What are the storylines coming out of that series?
It's over.
It's over.
No.
No. You know what? They have enough of an established resume and legacy that we wouldn't laugh at Tampa. I mean, some idiots would, but it'd be more about looking at Colorado and going, holy shit, you just swept the Lightning.
I can do it. Morning radio next morning.
Let's hear it.
In Tampa. The miles on these legs,
they
couldn't hold up. They finally reached the breaking point. 3 straight Stanley Cup finals. No modern team could ever keep up with that. The travel, the extra games, the fight in the regular season.
Playing in Denver.
Pandemic.
Playing in Denver, which is
the
high above
high altitude that we have here in Denver. That's what you're going to hear on Denver Radio 105.2.
Well, I thought that was supposed to be Tampa radio, but okay.
Oh, sorry.
I vividly remember members of the Tampa Bay Lightning having oxygen masks on the bench during the Lightning Flames final. Because the altitude was
right, and it's dry in Calgary.
Screwed with them.
Yeah,
screwed with them.
Okay,
that's the I think the reasoning for Tampa getting swept.
Okay, flip it around. Avs get swept. What are we saying? What are people saying?
You got one?
I mean, obviously dynasty. Duh.
Oh yeah.
But what do they say about the Avs?
They never faced a goalie.
There it is.
Who are the goalies they faced?
Koskinen and Smith. Binnington got injured. First round.
Friggin' Riddick and
Connor
Ingram.
Where was
Steve's big Connor? I was right about Connor Ingram. I was wrong about Connor Ingram.
Where was Vezina candidate UC Saros? Colorado hadn't faced a goalie up until the Stanley Cup final. They came up against the best in the world, and they crumbled.
And you know what? The Lightning took on some good goalies. Jack Campbell at somewhat full health. Igor Shesterkin. Who was the other? It was the second round. I can never remember this shit.
It was friggin'
Florida.
I just
Florida.
Had it. Yeah,
Bobrovsky.
the team that won the division. They swept them. They allowed 3 goals.
Wow. I don't know, guys.
They outscored them 13-3.
You confident in that Avalanche pick there?
There's also the West was very weak this year.
It was.
If you saw the gap in the points between the top and everybody else,
when everybody was talking
else.
about Calgary, I'm like, guys, they only have 92 points and they're in a weaker division. Everyone's like, you're stupid, Adam. You're stupid. I'm like, I don't know.
I looked at the West and I said, this is a 2-team conference. Mm-hmm. It's Colorado and Calgary.
Calgary had 111 points, by the way, not 92.
Yeah, what the hell are you talking about?
No, Calgary.
They had 111 points.
But at the time, they had 92, and I think the Leafs had already hit 100.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay.
No, they didn't finish.
Sorry,
with
I didn't know we were doing mid-season point totals.
No, I was basically I was being a Leafs homer and saying I don't know, guys.
But the gap between Colorado and everybody else was so substantial.
Yeah.
That there was really no way to judge what Colorado was because of the conference they played in.
I think the series that screwed that entire conference up, Minnesota, St. Louis. They should have, those two teams, based on the way that conference fell, should not have played each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is disrespectful, but I'm going to do it. Two different first round series. Edmonton, LA, Minnesota, St. Louis. Does either of Edmonton or LA beat either of Minnesota or St. Louis? I don't know the answer. I can tell you who most people would have as their favorite heading in. If you think about it in terms of, well, we just watched the Oilers go to the third round, so I'm picking the Oilers. Okay, fine. Look at it through the lens of just heading into the playoffs. I'm sorry, none of you are picking the Oilers to beat either of those teams. You're not.
That's true.
The top 3 teams in the West, I think, were all in the Central. Yeah, I think it went Colorado, Minnesota, St. Louis in some order.
Well, Vegas better figure their shit out.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, that division was for the taking. They really friggin' fumbled the bag.
Yep.
Yeah, and then like all this division talk, we compare it to the East, where the Atlantic is just a murderer's row.
That's so not fair.
Okay, so official picks before I move on because I've got some Leaf stuff.
Yes!
Who?
Oh, you're pointing at me? Sorry, Drew. Tampa in 7.
Okay.
7?
7.
He's saying it with no confidence.
Tampa in 7.
Colorado in 6.
Tampa in 6. Tampa in 6. All right.
It's so difficult to picture them losing a game 6 or 7.
So you're saying it's not okay to mention to your friends that you used high-quality Manscaped products this weekend?
Like, are you cutting them off to do it?
Well, no, I think you just bring it up as a topic
I shave my balls.
No, you just
Like,
topic
that'd
of
be weird,
conversation, right? Is it like we should talk about Manscaped?
You know what?
We should talk about the effect that it has, which is, listen, tip to toe. You know what I'm talking about? Tip to toe.
Like,
Manscaped's got you covered.
Why isn't it just more a part of culture?
I don't know. Should be. I mean, you know the promo code is Dangle. You know the shipping is is free, and you know that the discount on your first purchase is 20% off. You know that they've got body wash. You know that they got 2-in-1 shampoo, so you don't have to waste your time conditioning your hair after you shampoo it.
I'm always like, God, this is a waste of time.
Aluminum-free deodorant. They got body spray. They got lip balm, and it's not the shiny lip balm stuff.
It's actually quite nice.
Is it like a lemon? I haven't used the lip balm yet.
I have.
Well, there you go.
It's good.
All I'm saying is that you need to get your 20% off and your free shipping with the promo code Dangle at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code Dangle, manscaped.com. It's time to get wet and clean with your new Manscaped shower routine. And I used it this weekend and it felt great.
That's great, man.
NAD Plus supplementation is an important part of your health routine as you age. Elysium products help target aging specifically at its source. Like, if you become older, you must yell at the TV screen more, right? That has to happen.
What are you looking at me for?
Well,
They can hear you.
no reason at all. They can hear you.
The TV pictures can hear you.
When you yell shoot from your living room,
I help.
you're helping them shoot.
See, they might actually hear me.
So NAD Plus actually doesn't help with that, but it does help with a bunch of different things. It's NAD Plus is actually found in every single cell of your body. It's responsible for creating energy and regulating hundreds of cell functions, but NAD Plus also declines as you age, leading to things like, I don't know, aging.
Don't scream aging at
and
me.
yelling at the TV screen like Steve does. So,
Why'd
hey,
you
listen,
scream it?
go to trybases.com. The promo code is SDP. And so it's trybases.com/SDP, promo code SDP. And at checkout, you're going to save 10% off Basis, prepaid plans, and other Elysium Health supplements. That's trybases.com/SDP. Use the promo code SDP, save 10%. Thank you, Elysium. In a tiny apartment in Southern California, 2 college dropouts, I can relate to that, I'm one college dropout, teamed up to create a watch company that broke all the rules. Fair prices, unexpected colors, clean and original designs. Movement grew into one of the fastest growing watch brands out there, shipping to 160 countries across the globe. This stuff is high quality, right? These are great watches, unbeatable price point, and I gotta be honest with you, I like the second part mostly. Is that I'm
What's
cheap.
that?
I like to look good for cheap. Okay, just throwing that out.
It's
there.
always the right time.
Trivia. Name every country they ship to. All 160.
Oh, okay.
Canada, the United States, Mexico. Don't worry, this ad will be
Steve's
over in a
working
minute.
on that.
England.
If you want to elevate your style
Great
and
Britain,
look
sorry.
that doesn't break the bank, well, listen, Movement will give you 15% off.
Spain.
Free shipping, free returns. Go to
Germany.
movement.com/dangle.
Portugal.
That's mvmt.com/Austria. Dangle. Nick Alberga at the Golden Muzzy on Twitter has reported today that John Gibson has asked, I'll read this. Hearing Ducks goalie John Gibson is open to being dealt, and belief out of Anaheim is he's informed the club of that.
Ooh.
Now, there have been sneaky rumors for any team that needs a goalie, but really for the Leafs, there have been sneaky rumors about John Gibson and the Leafs before. And we know that the Leafs were in on him at some point in the last 18 months. We do know that. So, how does John Gibson, who didn't have a great year, change...
With the Ducks.
Yeah, with the Ducks, who didn't have a great year. How does John Gibson change the makeup of this organization?
Well, see, oh man. Statistically, it's so difficult because you're looking at a goalie who hasn't played great on a team that's bad. And you're asking him to come to a team that's good and be a savior.
Mm-hmm. Which isn't fair.
Well, so should we ask something of him that is not fair? Should the Leafs commit a lot of cap space and a lot of assets? I assume the Ducks aren't giving him away for free.
Well, and he signed a $6.4 million contract through 2027.
Oh boy, I'm not sure I see a fit here.
Unless, going the other way, they take Peter Mrazek's deal. And
There might be a fit there.
Now, I'm not saying it's a straight up swap before anybody takes me out of context here. There'd have to be a pretty valuable player going to the Ducks, wouldn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Right, but now, so on top of acquiring John Gibson, who the Ducks are going to say that costs something, the Leafs are going to go, also take this goalie we don't want. And so the Ducks are going to go, okay, that costs something as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you still have Gibson's $6.4 million cap hit. Whether he's good or bad.
That's what you have.
It might be, if he's good, you take the cap hit every day.
Mm-hmm.
If he's bad, you're screwed.
But isn't that the same with Mrazek? If he's good, if he was even 3 seasons ago, Mrazek, like shitty Detroit Mrazek, that contract might have been worth it.
We got to get, well, I'm going to listen to the new Chris Johnston show.
Yeah.
Which I know he's recording today, because we're hearing all sorts of crap. There's all sorts of crap going around right now. There's the Leafs are in on John Gibson, who is a goalie who has struggled recently and makes $6.4 million.
Let's throw this out. I want to say this.
There's also,
okay,
they want a goalie in the neighborhood of 1.5 to 2 million. Those are two extraordinarily different things.
So why? Because they're going to re-sign Campbell?
Well, they ain't signing him to that.
No. That's what they want. What are they thinking? Mrazek and somebody else?
I don't know what they're thinking, man.
A 917. That's the last time John Gibson had over a 910 save percentage. That was the 18-19 season, the last non-COVID season. Now, I listen.
Worth noting.
I think it's worth noting. Is it not worth noting?
It is. Jesse, why do you have that Hockey DB page?
What is it?
Right now?
Pay attention to your conversation.
It's got Justin Pogge's Hockey DB up right now, and I'm very upset about it.
What? What about Justin?
I don't know. Anyway, My other question to do with the Ducks is like, so what are your aspirations for being good? You know, like are you?
They're just going to sell their whole season based on 3 or 4 Sonny Milano and Trevor Zegras highlights.
Well, yeah, like I feel like you're not trying to get better by trading your starting goaltender.
Well, I think what my understanding is that, or I think it was a little bit inferred, is that because the Ducks have looked at ways to trade him, he's like, okay, fine, trade me.
Do it. Interesting.
I don't want to screw around anymore.
Interesting. Well, there's a few things there because I believe he's got at least a modified no trade.
Yeah. And you know this is the NHL where shitty teams become good for no reason all the time.
All the time. So
it's a 10-team no trade list, according to Cap Friendly.
So all the Canadian teams. And by the way, do you want to know the Ducks' plan for getting good? 2 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders this year, 1 first-rounder already, 3 second-rounders for next year.
Okay, so keep those things. And also your starting goalie.
If I'm the Leafs, I'm scared of that contract.
Yeah.
I don't want to take that on the books.
No.
It's not an organizational match.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
What?
Hold on.
What
You guys are looking at this
Ah.
as if this is a Leafs problem. This is not a Leafs problem. This is a Kyle Dubas problem. And listen, the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Leafs had a really good series this year. If the Leafs had not had a good series against Tampa Bay, what would we be talking about?
Blowing the team up.
Yeah.
Right. What would we be talking about if the Leafs were swept? Is everybody in management's got to lose their job, trade all the stars, blah, 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 right? Kyle Dubas has been here since 2014. He's been the general manager since 2018. Okay. So that's 4 solid years, and he's done a great job, in my opinion. There have been things I've disagreed with, but overall, you got to give it to him. He's been great.
Sure.
Okay. You have to, as a general manager, objectively look at this and go, is this a 10-year job? No. It's at best, a general manager can hope for maybe 6 to 8 years. Maybe. Unless you're a Canadian team, which we never fire anyone.
I see where Adam's going with this.
If you're Kyle Dubas, you must now go for broke. Tavares is he's still a good player in the decline, right? I think it's fair to say he's plateaued at the beginning of the decline. And the salary cap's not going up for another probably, if you listen to Agent Provocateur on Friday,
Boo.
2025 is when it's expected to jump $10 million. That summer. That's the summer.
Damn. That's so far.
That's so fucking far. If you're the Leafs, you're stuck this way. So you make the move, you get the goalie, and at least you give yourself a chance to make this happen. I think if you're Kyle Dubas, you're not looking at organizational fit beyond this coming season.
I don't think John Gibson's the guy to fit in this year.
Fair enough.
Because one, I think the contract plays into it because if you take on that 6.4, you don't have enough room to sign everybody else on your lineup. So I think there's better assets out there in the goalie market at a better price who have more. John Gibson's track record is pretty proven that he's a good goalie, but I think you can get as stable goaltending from other pieces in this free agent market because there's so many goalies out there. I think we're underrating how many options there are, and you don't really have to go for the trade route because you can piece together something in free agency.
Oh man.
Who is better out there?
Then Gibson?
Yeah.
Who's available?
I'm going to tell you one name right now.
Mikko Koskinen.
Oh, shit.
Just signed in Switzerland.
The big VH.
Van Halen.
Ville Husso.
Ville Husso could be a Toronto Maple Leaf, and I think it'd be a great decision.
What does Ville Husso's contract look like? Because he's got 1 year. It's got to be.
3.5?
He's a free agent.
Yeah, I know, but he's an unrestricted free agent, is he not?
Right.
So it's not. It's going to be more like if Nedeljkovic is 3.5.
That's a good comparison. I put him in that ballpark.
But he's unrestricted, so you're paying a premium on top of that.
Yeah, but he also has literally like no proven track record. He has 1 season under his books, and he wasn't great in the playoffs.
So did Ned, though.
I think you get him in 3 point something.
Oh man,
There's also the possibility of Jack Campbell coming back. Jack Campbell's a starter in the NHL.
yeah.
Somebody is going to offer
question.
him a shit ton of money.
And his job is going to be taken by Ben Bishop in Buffalo. No,
Well,
I'm
I
kidding,
was
I'm
about to
kidding,
say,
I'm kidding.
weren't you the one who said Buffalo's going to throw a bazooka of money at him?
Did I
Yes,
say that?
that's been reported for a while.
Yeah.
And Ben Bishop was, by the way, traded to Buffalo so they could fit they could hit the cap.
Yeah, Ben Bush is probably not going to play anymore. There's also rumors of Mike Smith heading to LTIR or retiring. So Edmonton's going to be in the market as well.
And are they going to have the money? Because Mike Smith didn't cost them much, and Mikko Koskinen's gone, so there's $4.5 million. But that's one goalie that you combine that with, and they've got to pay Darnell Nurse a lot more now.
Yeah, that new deal comes up, but they have a lot of guys coming off who they have to pay, or they can try and fill it in with some other options. Because you have in Edmonton, you have Archibald, Brassard, Kane's off the books, Turris, Kyler.
Yeah,
Kulak, Chris Russell.
Oh, Chris Russell's off the books.
Did you see the Puckpedia tweet about Duncan Keith, by the way? As long as we're talking about the Oilers' messed up situation and potentially LTIRing Mike Smith.
Yeah.
From Puckpedia, if Duncan Keith retired this summer, his $5.5 million cap hit would be removed for the Oilers, and they would get a $3.4 million recapture cap credit.
What?
So a negative cap hit. The Blackhawks would have $7.5 million of recapture cap hit allocated as $5.5 million in 2022-23 and $2 million in 23-24.
Holy shit.
I don't like to wish ill on other franchises.
Oh, that one.
But if Duncan Keith were to retire, oh boy, would we have hours of content.
Well, and how smart then does Ken Holland look if the Oilers go to the third round and then Duncan Keith retires and immediately gives them like a superstar's worth of cap room?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, would you pay whatever it was that they paid? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, no, that's all worth it.
And we can have an argument about how important he was in terms of getting the Oilers to the third round. Okay, well, they already got there. So they were already there, and it doesn't matter now. And now they get, what is it, $8 million worth of...
The extra $3 million on top of it is just such a weird NHL
That is
rule.
bizarre.
Why?
We talked about this last show in a different context. I can't remember what the context was. Why is this a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Why? It doesn't need to happen. Like when the Leafs bought out Jared Cowan and got a bonus for it.
I think that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, for buying out a player who never played a game for them. Why?
Why does this affect Chicago when they traded him away? When you trade somebody, do you not trade all of their rights in the person
because they're the
and
one who signed
contract?
it.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous. That's a dumb rule.
Because, okay, so...
You traded the contract to the other team. So Chicago should have rights to Duncan Keith?
So they got a new GM. There's been rumors of them potentially trading Kane. Rumors of them potentially trading Taves. They're not going to be potentially trading DeBrincat, which makes no sense at all.
No.
It only makes sense if that happens.
They
to them.
signed Marc-Andre Fleury and had to kibosh that midway at the trade deadline.
Like,
no, isn't? Oh no,
pandemonium that freaking
last. So they have they have one more year of Taves and Kane at 10.5 each, and Taves is not worth it anymore. He's a formerly great player, but this is not. On a hockey set, not worth it.
Not 10.
Here's the problem. Well, actually, here's the tradable part about Taves' contract. He gets a $4 million bonus. So as soon as that's over, it looks like his salary this year was only supposed to be $6.9 million anyway, because most of it was paid up front. So once that bonus is over, whoever picks up Taves, watch it be Buffalo or Arizona. Although he's got a no movement clause, so maybe he doesn't leave.
And a player who's very
passionately Chicago Blackhawk, right?
Well, I'm passionately unhappy.
Yeah, that guy goes to a contender if he goes anywhere,
like,
right?
He's pissed.
He's pissed, but dude, who is going to, even at a $10.5 million cap hit, the only team that's going to want you is a team that has to hit the floor. Otherwise, you're staying in Chicago being deeply unhappy.
Or they retain half, which is going to be harder for them to do if Duncan Keith turns around and is like,
no,
here's the
Chicago's writing this year off. Chicago's writing this year off.
Unless you're,
I think that's the conclusion we're coming to.
Unless you're Vegas and you're like, we want to put on a light show. Let's go get a superstar. And then you go get one of Patrick
What do they think the cap is?
It doesn't exist.
They're already over, by the way. Did you know that? They're over right now. Vegas has as many players. Yeah, their roster. They have 17 players on their roster under contract, just like the Leafs do. Only they are They are at $82.3 million. They are $200,000 under. And
this is heading into the offseason.
I believe, but I think
cap friendly has reset to next year.
I think, yeah, you're 82.5 right now.
They have two.
They have $200,000 to spend on 6 players.
They're my
The Leafs
favorite team.
Like the next time you complain about the Leafs having $7 or $8 million to spend on 6 or 7 players, just remember, because that's what the Leafs have. And here's the thing: with the Leafs, guys, Kerfoot's gone. We can't pretend this anymore. Kerfoot is gone.
A tent outside of Scotiabank Arena, and I'd be protesting them like Lisa Simpson for Shanahan and Dubas's immediate resignation.
Yeah.
If the Leafs had this much cap space and had just missed the playoffs. Holy shit.
Yeah. You gotta move that Dodonov deal.
Or keep him. Or illegally trade him and then have to keep him. The options are endless.
They could in a way, in an odd way, they could almost solve their issues if they trade it with Anaheim. Because they tried to trade Dodonov to the Ducks already. Mm-hmm. Right?
We're in silly season, aren't we?
Yeah, let's get silly. So Dodonov makes $5 million for 1 more year. Anaheim loves that. Sure. Yeah, you could score some goals. We got some good young players. Maybe you could teach them a little bit of skill or whatever. And we'll trade you Gibson, but then you got to find salary somewhere else where, basically Vegas can essentially dump it on them.
Adam, the reason the deal was kibosh is because he has a no trade to Anaheim. So he can't.
He'll
in my head, I was like, wait a sec.
He'll wave
the
it.
California teams.
He'll wave it.
No,
it's Anaheim.
He didn't wave it.
He'll wave it.
He had the option
That's
to.
because they didn't ask him to. They didn't ask him.
I assume they did.
No, they didn't. That's why. They didn't know he had it.
Did they forget to say with sugar on top?
I mean, like after the fact.
And now they'll do it?
Guys.
After the fact. They probably asked him. They're like, okay.
Okay, I hate when this argument comes up because it's just like as though nobody's ever waived their no trade ever.
No, but this is he.
Come on,
He's
gonna
used
waive
it. Has a point here.
No, but
he's
used
gonna
it.
waive. No, he didn't use it. The problem, Jesse, is they didn't ask. He submitted it at the beginning of the year, and then they were not aware of the no trade. That's the problem.
No, but if he was okay with going to Anaheim, he would have never went back
but
and been
but it would have been different at the trade deadline, right? Because they would have said, listen, we don't want you here. We're going to trade you. We want to trade you. So that's what would have happened.
No,
and
that's
if they'd
what
known
they
that it would
did.
existed. No, they didn't.
He got traded at the trade deadline.
I know, but Jesse,
to Anaheim.
they didn't ask him at the trade deadline. That happens.
They just did it.
I know of a player who did not get traded at this trade deadline.
Yeah.
Who submitted his list to his team. And one of the teams on that list, a major market team, came in and said, we want him. The agent then went to the player and said, do you want to waive? And the player said, sure, no problem. The difference here with Dodonov is they never did that.
No. So they traded him to Anaheim. And then his agent went back and said, no, he can't go. But
they never asked.
No, let me finish talking. If he was okay with going to Anaheim, he would have said, oh yeah, to make all of this right, I'll just go, and then you don't have your media circle. I'm saying he would have done the right thing post all of the drama if he was okay with going to Anaheim, because he would have just made sweet with the organization.
That's a fair point.
And
but
he didn't do that because he doesn't want to go to Anaheim.
I think that's a fair point.
Why we're making
that's a fair point.
Fake trade
but I think you can make it happen this offseason. I do.
What if prior to the trade that fell through, Dodonov did not know that Disneyland was in Anaheim, and now he knows, and he's willing to do it.
Here's the thing, too: you can also get the player. You can sell the player on waiving under certain circumstances. You can.
No, it's Jesse has a very valid point.
That's a very valid point.
He kiboshed the trade 2 months ago, or whatever. Adam has a very valid point that people change their minds.
Sure.
It is true, but that is it's not enough time. I know.
Well, after the trade deadline, I know you've run out of time at that point.
Yeah, you've run out of time.
So, fair enough, Jesse. I see what you're saying. I didn't see what you were saying before. I think there's a trade to happen here. And I feel like if you want to stay in the sunshine and you don't want a whole lot of pressure, and hey, Anaheim promises to trade you to a contender by the end of the season, if you're Dodonov, why don't you take that? We're going to put you on the first line. You're going to score a pile of goals. Everybody wins.
Listen, this all started with Duncan Keith ending his career by screwing the Blackhawks. I think is very funny.
Well, do you think he only goes to Edmonton for 1 year? I have a hard time believing that.
I don't know. Well, they could have a conversation with him, and maybe they don't maybe they see him in a reduced role. Even more reduced than he's already in.
And what was, for anybody that didn't watch a lot of Oilers games, and I know you did, what was his role?
He did play top 4. I don't know where he finished in terms of Oilers defensemen in terms of ice time.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think in terms of Final Four teams, he's clinging to the top 4 with his pinky finger. And more realistically, he should probably be pushed down. Maybe not even an everyday player.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think a guy like Duncan Keith has any interest in that.
The Oilers specifically, according to Freege, said that Mike Smith and Duncan Keith were told to let them know whether they're returning or retiring by July 1st.
Wow. The little bit of extra time is such an interesting factor this year, eh? Because as we talked about last episode, I totally forgot the free agency is July 13th.
Right.
Why did they wait so long?
I don't know. Well, and it's funny.
They could have got it done earlier.
No, because what's the last day of Stanley Cup final?
The 28th.
28th. And then
I guess you need time.
Well, the draft is still
The 7th and
a little bit after that.
They didn't need to. They didn't know this when they set these dates, but they didn't need to push it back as far as they did.
Yeah.
Okay.
They could have pushed everything. They could have squeezed everything in a little to give more of an off season.
Yeah, but
No, they're right.
That is what it is. What did they know?
You would have been really flying by the seat of your pants, and Murphy's Law. Every single series of the first 3 rounds goes 7, and so does the Cup final.
That's fair.
You never know. You never know. But in theory, this could be done by like June 22nd or something like that. And then you moved everything back that far for like nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you could have free agency July 1st, but you could have the draft.
Mm-hmm.
The draft is like a week later than it needs to be. Well. More fun for me.
Is there an NHL awards in there somewhere? Are we doing some sort of ceremony for that?
they announced the host. I forget who it was.
Friggin' SNL guy who's always there. Kenan Thompson?
Kenan Thompson.
Oh.
Yeah. Good burger.
I like Kenan Thompson.
That's every time I see him, and there's a lot of people watching right now who are like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I gotta go, there was an obscure movie from like the year 2000 called Good Burger.
And he was in it.
Good Burger, the home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order, please?
Okay.
You don't remember Good Burger?
I do remember Good Burger, Steve. I don't know. I think
also the Mighty Ducks. Sorry.
What are the other goalie I wanted to ask you guys about? If the Leafs are looking to spend $1.5 to $2 million,
June 21st, NHL Awards hosted by Kenan Thompson.
So, wait a second. So the season won't be over.
No, it'll be in the middle of the Stanley Cup final.
Do they normally do that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, and, one of the off days. Yeah.
No, usually they do it after the Stanley Cup final with musical guest Chris Daughtry.
Oh, God.
I once went to the NHL Awards and they had musical guest Chris Daughtry.
So, okay, if the Leafs are looking to spend $2.5 million on a goalie, does Georgiev make sense in New York?
Oh, hell yeah.
I know we keep asking this, but he was making about that last year, and I can't imagine that he's earned much more.
Well, he wasn't great, but like he's young, so he's got potential. He could be anything. He could even be John Gibson. God, goalies drive me nuts.
They're terrible.
Georgiev works.
He's
amongst the list.
Here,
let
me just throw this at you guys before you get into it.
Yeah.
He was 28, 15, and 10.
Wow.
292 save or 292
he lost 10
goals
games
against
in overtime in the shootout?
Yeah, but sorry, I'm wrong. He was 15 and 10.
Oh,
2 overtime losses.
He played 28 games?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Well, 33 technically, but he started 28.
Okay.
His save percentage. So his goals against average 292. His save percentage on the Rangers, 898.
Fuck. That's tough.
898 save percentage. That's rough. That's the worst of his career by far. Like he's at 905,
So
910, 914.
You would have to trade for Georgiev, which wouldn't be a whole lot. You'd be trading for his rights. You'd give up like a fifth or something, or just a prospect.
I think you'd be trading more than that, but his value has certainly gone down.
Who off the Marlies are you trading for Georgiev?
Oh man.
Man.
Oh, man. Oh, God. What's in the box? Marlies fans are going to be pissed. I'm not sure there's much on the Marlies that makes any sense. Because the good ones are too good for him, and the not as good ones are not nearly good enough. So you're looking at, I don't know. I think if I'm a Ranger, I'd probably rather the draft picks.
So you give up a 4th round pick for the rights to Georgiev.
I think.
Will the Rangers accept that?
Yeah, man. I think it's going to
they
be
could
more
just
than
sign
that.
him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, so the Leafs got to give up a 2nd or a 3rd? That's
Offer
a lot.
sheet.
Offer sheet.
Offer sheet.
So then you got to pay him
No cap room.
$4.2 million.
Trust me, it makes sense.
All right.
No, you do the other one. What's the other one?
The one below it or
Yeah.
the one above it?
One team I do wonder about if the Rangers do want to sell is
Their 2nd.
Edmonton. Edmonton, I wonder about with them.
Okay, is there a goalie available? Edmonton, I wonder about.
Do you
That's
swap?
fair, yeah.
Do you swap Puljujärvi and Georgiev?
That's kind of neat.
There we go.
Yeah, and then you
That's
sign.
kinda neat.
Then you get your goalie.
Yeah, but that's a big. I mean, the Oilers are that's a big because at least you know what Puljujärvi you think is.
Yeah.
Right. Georgiev is a question mark, a big fat question mark.
That's kind of a neat one, Jesse. I don't think it's all the way there, but there's something.
And then you're like, okay, we got Stuart Skinner and Georgiev. Like, is that your tandem?
That's okay. That's okay.
Oh yeah, Stuart Skinner.
Like, yeah, their best goalie didn't dress. Yeah, hockey's stupid. Hockey.
Shit, Stuart Skinner.
Yeah, Stuart's good.
Oh, the Oilers are fine.
Yeah, they're
They're
fine.
gonna be fine. Just find somebody who can play 35 games.
Yeah, they need one goalie,
Shit.
whereas the Leafs potentially need two.
Probably need to and need to dump one.
Well, okay, you keep Mrazek. Okay, what about Shelgren as a full-time NHLer?
Did we mention
higher
this?
pitch, right?
yeah.
Did we mention Koskinen not coming back?
I
Yeah,
did.
go to Switzerland.
Okay.
Switzerland. I thought he would have got an NHL deal
Yeah.
So
if he'd wanted it.
I didn't. Yes, so I thought that too, but I also didn't realize. And I always go this way because people are like, "What?" But he could have made more money, and then I look at it and I'm like, "He has made $16 million, and he's about to turn 34."
He wants to go home. Or
Yeah,
closer to home.
Well, closer to home. Closer to home. And I remember, I admittedly don't remember what it was, but he had some. I think there was a family tragedy over the course of the bubble.
Yeah,
You want to be closer to home.
I get that.
They pay well in Switzerland. Like he's not doing this for free.
No.
So he's going to make like something like $500,000 to play hockey. He's going to actually play.
Yep. Yes.
And he's going to play games that matter. Like, man, there was you would have been justified starting him in playoff games this year, and they wouldn't do it. And then next year, they're going to a capable goalie who's younger than Mike Smith, so they'll probably need you less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go overseas, live a good life. Mikko Koskinen's fine, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good for him. More power.
All right.
More
that
power
makes
to him.
sense.
I get the life decision, and like I don't know if he's married. I don't know if he's got kids. I don't.
Yeah.
Trivia?
Sure.
Name the team he signed with.
Oh God.
Oh, this sucks because I saw it
Mhm.
today. Is it Lugano?
HC Lugano. Well done.
Hey!
Where do they rate? Because I only know Zurich Lions.
Oh, they're up there with the other 7 teams in that league or whatever it is.
You know what? It's a wealthy league. They spend big money on players,
And they do. You can make a great living in Switzerland.
it's just everything costs a fortune.
My
$20 Coca-Cola.
My information's out of date. I can't remember when I read it. I'm going to say at least 10 years ago, but I'm pretty sure everyone in the league made $400,000, which at the time wasn't far under NHL minimum. It's not that far under NHL minimum now. So like if everyone in that league is making, let's say $500,000, come on.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good life. Good, a lot less travel. Imagine you're going from friggin' Edmonton to the Western Conference is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like the travel nightmare. And you're playing in the Swiss League. Guess where they play? Switzerland! One country!
One thing that
and
we
it's
should...
tiny.
I don't know if anybody's written any articles on this, so if you have, I apologize, but I wondered about the effects of the war on the KHL. Like, are we going to see a lot of North American players just go to Europe now? Like, I'm sure player transfers have happened and players have signed contracts. I just haven't seen much on it.
I can look into that. I think so the KHL has designated import slots, so you're allowed X amount of import players. I believe they made that number less, and I think players are going to be far more reluctant to go there, or to like a neighboring country, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how comfortable are you playing in the Czech league right now? They're right there.
They're right there.
That's a. And for anyone rolling your eyes, I'm sorry. You
live in North America. If you live in North
America, and you can't tell me that if you're trying to move potentially your like wife and kids over there, you can't tell me that's not a consideration.
Yeah.
How we feel?
Oh, I'm curious about that too, and I'm wondering, if you take some of the major players out of the Russian league, and obviously most of the KHL guys are the best KHL guys are mostly Russian guys, but there's some Canadians in there that are always up on the top scoring list, whatever.
Yeah.
Does it bring more attention to, and I don't know the answer to this, the European leagues, the Swedish leagues, the Swiss league? I know Austria's got a league.
Like, do the KHL players hop to those leagues?
Yeah, and do they then generate more fan interest?
Some of them, but if I know anything about the KHL, some of the big money teams are going to be throwing money at guys to stay just for appearances, right? And it's a league built on and for propaganda, right? So, and especially the Russian stars, they're not losing any.
Oh no, I wasn't saying that, but I'm talking about the Canadian, American, whoever else, anybody else.
Yeah,
the Russian players will stay.
That's a tough one. Well, some teams have already pulled out of the league. More teams might still.
Mm-hmm. Isn't Jokerit? Where are they going to play?
They're gone. I don't know where they're playing next year, but they were in the Finnish league.
Yeah, and then they went to the
jumped
K.
ship to the K. So, in theory, they could just. I mean, the funny thing about Jokerit is when they joined the KHL, they didn't actually go anywhere. They just stayed put.
Yeah.
So it's really a matter of getting permission to rejoin the Finnish league, or would it be, how preposterous would it be if they played in Sweden? Like, I don't know. Right. Join the SHL. I don't know. But there's this is maybe getting too deep into the hockey nerddom. Like, I don't know how much people are into this conversation, but I find it friggin' fascinating. So I'm gonna send a few texts.
Okay.
Try to find some.
I'd like to know.
Answers.
I'd really like to know what that has a huge effect, I would think.
Huge effect.
Also, we should mention that the under 18 women's hockey championship is happening. Aaron Brown, who is covering it for the IIHF, wrote an article today, and obviously tonight at 19:30, which is 7:30.
Jada Ginla, who we talked about her.
Yeah.
And then she got hurt immediately. I saw that and I'm like, mother. Yeah. And then scored a goal.
Against Finland, who kicked Canada's butt in the round robin. So here's the thing. I guess when Canada and the U.S. played, the U.S. beat the crap out of them too, 7-0. So this will be Canada-USA final. Very interesting to see where this goes. The United States are just an absolute powerhouse this year. They are.
Yes.
And you know what? As Canadians, I think it's time we start talking about, maybe getting used to that a little bit more.
Yeah.
More so than, because the American hockey system is churning out better players at a faster rate.
It's
Hockey Canada.
Good.
And we're still going to have Rick Westhead to talk about there's many fallacies and very, very bad things about Hockey Canada, many of them, and many good things. But what happened, obviously, with Rick Westhead and the story he's reporting on, we will have him on to talk about that. But Hockey Canada is starting to look pretty damn old in terms of how we're developing players in comparison to how the United States program is doing it. Also, they have 10 times the population. So it makes sense that they may have more players, right? So Canadians, get used to it. But, we're cheering them on. And obviously tonight, 7:30, I believe TSN has the game. So,
ever heard of them?
No.
What, TSN?
In the network? Yeah,
Who owns them?
A little startup.
Upstart little thing.
I hear that.
I'll be sure to get... No, I'm not even going to say that.
Can you even say TSN? Are you allowed to say it?
No. Say what?
Let's do the press conference.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
I got a question for the two of you. I've been trying to
Is
figure
it
it out.
who did Dodonov waive his no trade for? No, I'm sorry.
Adam.
Sorry about that. I
Adam.
didn't understand.
Adam, that might be the worst trade suggestion you've ever had.
Oh, Jesse,
and
no,
I
it's
don't-
not.
No, it couldn't be. Couldn't be.
I don't know if I hammered that point enough.
You know,
It might
I don't think
be.
it can be. No, I will double down on being wrong. I will double down. Jesse, what's your question?
The dawn off to Anaheim.
Again.
I've
Do it again.
been wavering on something in my life, and I want your guys' help on it because you're both dads, and I figured you'd understand and you'd have a good opinion on this.
All right.
Adam, feel free to use this terrific content on your morning show.
Okay.
What's the perfect temperature? Because I've settled on 22 degrees Celsius
Too
for
hot.
the American lesson.
As a married
But-
man, I'm here to tell you you're wrong.
Too hot.
But I've come down to 21 and a half recently, and I'm thinking of going to 21.
So are we talking about a waking hour temperature or sleeping temperature?
This is so important.
Oh, okay. So waking hour. So lately I've been doing 22 during the day.
Yeah.
And then when I'm going to bed, I switch it down to 21.
Okay.
And then I go to bed like that.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
So here it is. You ready?
Yeah.
21 degrees during the day. 21 degrees during the day.
That's so cool.
By the way,
18.
Americans translated this is Google it. Ha! Sorry.
18 degrees at night, and that's
Oh my
scientifically
God.
proven. 18 degrees
18 at night?
18 is scientifically proven to be
Celsius?
the optimal temperature for you to sleep.
Are you wearing your winter coat when you go to bed?
Guys, that's what it is.
Oh
18
my
degrees.
God.
18 degrees. That's what I set my house to that. Do we ever reach that? No.
Oh, no.
Bro, you get up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's already like cold.
Yeah. 18 degrees, guys.
Do you come out of like cryo sleep like Master Chief?
Guys, 18 degrees and it's the best temperature I sleep at. Like honestly, my sleeps are better when it's 18.
I don't know if my thermostat goes that low. Like
What-
it
what-
might end at 19.
What does Natalie think?
So that's, by the way, they say between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit,
Oh, just
which is between 15.6 and 19.4 degrees Celsius.
15.6 and 19.4
That is the sleep foundation.
are enormously different temperatures.
They are.
And I say, what I said, it was a TED Talk, but it was 18 degrees. They said 18 degrees that's basically in the middle. 18 degrees is the best temperature for sleeping.
And
that's
during,
what I sleep
during
at.
the day, what do you have it at?
21.
Oh, jeez.
The room outside of this studio, the rest of Adam's basement,
Yeah.
is... I don't know if my Nona kept her wine cellar that cold. Like
It's a basement. We're in a basement.
Adam, I have a basement, and it's not
in a
half as
basement.
cold as that ice chamber out there.
In here, it makes sense because all this stuff would be really hot
Yes.
if it wasn't so hot.
Yes, and if it
wasn't
gets
so
too
cool.
hot in a studio, you find people really start to slow down. They
I was told by the guy who does Jimmy Kimmel, because I went and saw them on our honeymoon, cold is funny.
cold is funny.
It's also just like we don't want the computers to overheat.
Yeah.
And the
too.
cameras. You know.
Too, probably.
What's the temperature?
Perfect temperature? Whatever she says. Am I right? Am I right, guys? Am I right? No,
Oh my god.
no, during the day, 21.5 or 22. And at night, I like, because remember, Leo is the top consideration.
That's fair.
I like a 20.5.
So Jesse, are you having this disagreement with your partner Gabby, or
No. I usually set the temperature.
or she doesn't even notice?
No, she doesn't really.
That's
notice.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's usually too cold, and I have it at it'll be like 22, and she'd be like, "Oh, it's too cold." You know?
She says it's too cold.
Yeah. I like 21, 22.
She thinks that's too cold.
Yeah, she thinks like 21 is too cold. But like I found that like 22 is good during the day, and then drop down 21 while we're sleeping is the best. But like, should I according to Adam, I should push that. We should be going down
You
to
should try it. I
fucking-
recommend it.
Going down to
Why do you think my jeans
5
are in the freezer? I
degrees.
got to keep things cold around here. Okay?
Sleep at -12 in Adam's house.
It's like Scrooge. You know when the devil like leaves him in the or his Jacob Marley leaves him in the cold cellar with the chains all around him.
Jesus, Adam.
I'm telling you, it actually does make a difference. It does make a difference because it allows for you to have your covers on and sleep and have your little cocoon. But it also allows you to kind of adjust and because for me, I'm always hot. So I'm always hot.
By the way, the way Adam sleeps is his girlfriend sleeps on her stomach, and Adam sleeps holding on to the door that she's on in the middle of the Atlantic.
That would be a great sleep.
That's a Titanic reference.
Yeah, it sure is, Jesse. 1997's critically acclaimed Titanic.
You know, they only found the Titanic because the CIA was looking for 2 missing submarines, and they couldn't reveal that they were going looking for the submarine. So they said they were going to look for the Titanic.
I don't know.
And then they found the Titanic plus their 2 submarines. It's in declassified docs from the CIA.
Seriously?
Yeah, what TikTok did you see that on?
Google it.
That's
it's on it. It's one of those
Google
TikTok auto-created Reddit.
You're not gonna believe.
Yo, is your TikTok algorithm fine for like a couple of weeks and then completely is like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's throw some crazy shit in there. There's a guy, Canadian guy. I don't know what his name is, but he's got a studio like ours, but it's a very close-up shot. He's got a beard, typical like looking white guy, and he's got like yellow and orange in the background. And he says stuff like, and you're like, it takes you a minute to realize what he's talking about. And you're like, oh, this guy's like an alt-right dude.
Oh, no.
And it takes you a minute to realize, guess what? That's the rest of your algorithm.
Yeah, I know.
This guy hates people. Here we go.
And then I'm like, no, I didn't want to watch this. And then it all of a sudden, it's like, Joe Rogan clip.
So that's when you got to switch to accounts I follow, click like on every video to reset your algorithm, and only then can you go back.
Well, you remember at YouTube, until Joe Rogan took himself off, no matter what you watched, the next video was a Joe Rogan video, right? You guys all remember that. Yeah. You remember that. And I'm not saying that Joe Rogan's on TikTok. He's not. But what I'm trying to say is that, like, it's just, I don't know what he's talking about, but there's something about him like, this guy is weird enough that I want to stick around, and then, oh, fuck.
If the algorithm was a person, you would never trust their judgment.
Ever.
Because, okay, he watched this video for more than 2 seconds. He loves it. Loves it. Here's a little bit of Johnny Depp, and here's some more Johnny Depp. You like some Johnny Depp? Here's some Johnny Depp.
And here's
Here's
Jordan Peterson owning the libs.
Oh, my God.
It's just, oh, God.
Yes, well, that's been the gateway drug.
Yeah.
Hey, are you into Johnny Depp?
Oh, no.
Guess what I bet you also like? Here it is with a bazooka.
We should have Adam's History Corner on. The hunt for the Titanic was actually a hunt for lost U.S. nuclear submarines.
That is fucking crazy, because they concocted a whole story around it with this guy.
This is an
Howard
InfoWars
something.
link.
Who found...
Shut up. This is
so...
I didn't know.
Who is it?
Robert Ballard.
Jones.
Robert Ballard.
Yeah. Upon discovering the fallen passenger ship's location in 1985, Robert Ballard was hailed as a hero for finding the wreckage largely on his own accord. But according to recently declassified events recounted at the National Geographic Museum in Washington, D.C., that isn't entirely true. Ballard's discovery was really a part of a U.S. government scheme to outwit the Soviets in the midst of the Cold War.
Here, let me continue reading this in the narrator's voice. An oceanographer and Navy officer, Ballard was
Yeah, I don't trust this link, man. I don't trust this at all.
I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
At loveexploring.com, I discovered the Titanic in a top secret military operation. That is, yeah.
It might be Alex Jones. Alex Jones might have wrote this story, but
and guess what? Our phones are listening. So Titanic and DiCaprio and Titanic. And here's the new movie from Kate Winslet.
Hold on.
Alex Jones.
So according to this, Robert Ballard, the guy that did discover it, says, "I was living 2 lives. I was an academician and an Army and Navy intelligence officer." And we were looking for nuclear weapons that we lost during the Cold War, and we didn't want the Soviets to follow us.
Hey, there you go. And they ended up finding the weapon. According to the thing I read, they ended up finding the submarines and all the stuff, and they found the Titanic.
Now, do we trust loveexploring.com?
What is that?
That's the site I'm reading. But it doesn't look weird and creepy. I don't know.
Oh, that means like exploring.
I love
like
exploring.
traveling.
I love
yeah.
exploring. Love exploring.
And all the ads are
How do you feel about it? Love.
Johnny Depp.
No.
Here's Johnny Depp's lawyer and Johnny Depp's other lawyer. And there's another lawyer from
Yeah.
Johnny Depp.
Oh no. Oh, this is from CNN.
My fucking
You can't trust them, but
No, you can't. What are the liberal media want?
high five. Fucking right, Jesse. See, and now they just heard me insult TSN. Guess what my phone's going to be full of?
What is it?
Nothing good.
What does it say?
just the same stuff we're talking
God.
about. Inside
Wow.
the secret U.S. military mission that located the Titanic.
Well, your phone has been listening to you, so I'm sure you'll get lots of fun ads after this.
Oh,
one,
now
guys.
my phone is nothing but advertisements for where to buy Canadian flags. That's Canada Day is coming up. So, you know what? That's actually very helpful. Thank you, phone. Thank you. That's actually, I'm going to, in ahead of, what are you smirking at? Ahead of Canada Day, I'm going to buy nothing but Canadian flags.
Here's a Facebook shirt of Johnny Depp hugging his lawyer.
Can you imagine
What?
buying that and wearing it?
I haven't actually seen that, to be fair.
But it exists.
But I have ad blockers.
I'm going to get an ad for it before I leave your house. I'm
I have
going to
ad
open up
blockers
Facebook
on my
right now.
Facebook, and I also do follow Facebook T-shirts on Instagram, and that is a great account. You should follow. It's very funny.
I'm very upset because now all I get on my TikTok are shirts for guys with guts.
Yeah, man. Fuck TikTok.
Yeah, anyone watching also get those shirts?
You know who I bet never got that? Jesse Blake.
Yeah, Jesse, you get a lot of true classic advertisements.
Since
Here,
we're on
where's your phone? Where's your
Since
phone?
we're on the
Where's your
topic
phone?
of
true
shirts.
classic.
No, let's
True
wrap, for the
classic.
listening audience and also the viewing audience because you haven't turned around. Let's talk about your damn shirt today.
What?
When did you start playing midfield?
For York United.
So
I
you're
usually
wearing-
play defense
you're
because that's where they
wearing-
put the kids who couldn't run.
You're wearing a York
me.
United jersey right now.
Yes.
On the back, you got your own name.
Oh,
I refuse to ever not think it's cringe to have your own name as an adult when you don't play for the team. Put your own name on the back of a jersey. You're not even a fan of the sport.
Is it, first of all, don't tell me what I'm not a fan of. True classic.
Okay.
I have a gut. I wish I had a shirt for my gut, True Classic.
Is that what they said? I don't even know what
Yes,
I don't even
anyway.
know what that means. What
So
you're
I'm
yelling.
just trying to fuck your algorithm. Anyway,
Okay.
is it less cringe that my friend works for the team and he sent me a True Classic?
Yes, that's
Okay,
less cringe.
good.
Oh my God.
What?
They just are you playing goal?
So, you know what sucks is they actually have a player, and he's like one of their better players who wears 20. I did not ask for 20. They sent me. It's a gift. I'm wearing a gift.
I'm gonna get a Leafs jersey. I'm gonna put Blake 34.
You know what's unfortunate about the shirt though is it's very tight fitting. If only there was a shirt that would fit my gut in it, True Classic.
Have you've got an advertisement for a shirt that fits your gut
Yes.
on your Instagram. That's
On Instagram and TikTok. It's like, this guy's
no.
a dad. Guess what? Bet he's fat. And they happen to be right. You know, this a lucky guess, fuckers. Anyway.
all right. So who do you think wins the Stanley Cup final?
I don't know. Probably Tampa.
All right, we'll let it go.
Tampa, and how much? You said like 4, 5, 6, 7. You could all see those happening.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Not
7,
3
8, 9,
though.
10, 11, 12.
All right.
I think 7.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. Hey, Steve,
Yeah, Adam?
if I really wanted a shirt for my gut,
Yeah?
what would I do, and where would I get it?
I think you go to True Classic. True Classic. True Classic. True Classic. Go and get a True Classic. Get it.
The Steve Dangle Podcast.
Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada's sportsbook.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.